Hey, this is Pete from Strymon. I'm here with Dean and our new BigSky MX pedal. It's BigSky taken to the next level, and it's got a lot of new features and new sounds, algorithms, and parameters, and voices. And Dean was a big part of helping us get this product to the next level.
Yeah, jam-packed full of new stuff. So on the left half of the dial here, all of these algorithms, impulse, spring, plate, chamber, hall, and room, are brand new algorithms, and they're not based on the original BigSky algorithms in any way. They sound a lot different. We really tried to use our new technology to make really complex algorithms that are more, we think, more realistic sounding than what we've ever been able to do before. Chamber and impulse were not on the original BigSky. There's nothing similar. On spring, plate, hall, and room, those are all new algorithms, but the original BigSky spring, plate, hall, and room are also in there under a voice parameter. So all of the sounds that you could get on the original BigSky, you can also get on the new BigSky MX. The only exception is the reflections, which was replaced by impulse. So the original reflections was supposed to model reflections in a small room, and we figured that an impulse loader where you can really have photorealistic, so to speak, perfect impulse responses, perfect recreation of being in that space is a really good replacement for the original reflections.
And on the right half side of the dial, the reverbs that are not based in reality or physical spaces, the kind of artsy, bigger reverbs, all benefit from an enhanced set of parameters that allow for wider range of sound shaping, and including the ensemble on the cloud algorithm and a new harmonics section for bloom to add extended set of harmonics based on your input. Chorale, you can add a tenor or a baritone chorus, as in addition to your guitar signal.
Yeah, and Shimmer is an entirely new algorithm. It's got a different type of pitch shifter that sounds really good, and it lives on there just like the other types. It lives alongside the original BigSky algorithm, so you can really get that classic Shimmer sound, or you can try out the new one, and they both work great in different scenarios.
So every place that dial goes has some enhancement that's either the addition of new algorithms or the addition of new parameters and new voices, and there's a lot in there, and we're excited about it.
We're also really excited to show off the dual reverb capabilities of this product, where you can have two reverbs going at once. So you can create some really complex or really big sounds, or really kind of great stereo imaging. Lots of different routing options, so you can have one going on the left, one on the right. You can have them both in series. You can have them in parallel.
And the interface to use the dual feature, it's very intuitive. It's simple to use, and it makes the creative process just kind of a breeze. So it's a big feature of this new BigSky MX.
Yeah, you notice we also have a brand new screen, brand new beautiful OLED display on here, new interface. We're also really excited to show off the impulse loading capabilities. So we have each reverb channel has a 10-second impulse response loader. So you can load your own impulses or use the ones that are on there from the factory. You can do all kinds of stuff like stretch them, reverse them, put envelopes on them to make them decay shorter.
Yeah, you can also change the modulation or add modulation or adjust the tone of the impulses as well. So when you load an impulse, you're not just loading a sound, you're loading a sound that now you can stretch and use creatively in a lot of manners that go beyond just traditional impulse auditioning.
Yeah, and there's lots of impulse packs you can buy on the internet from other vendors. You can load those in here, or you can record your own rooms, record spaces, or really anything you want, and just see how it sounds when you put audio through it. And it's a really fun feature. There's also like a feedback control in there, so you can feed the impulse output back into the pre-delay, and we're going to show off a lot of that. It's really cool. This is a brand new hardware platform. We've got a really powerful ARM tri-core processor on here, so we can do stuff that we've never been able to do before on hardware. We've also got great modern connectivity features like USB-C for MIDI and for firmware updates and for impulse loading. And it communicates with our brand new Nixie 2 platform, so you can use that to store your presets, and you can use that to load impulses, and really anything you'd want to do. Nixie is kind of the portal from your computer to edit all your sounds.
Another feature we have on the front panel here is a dedicated infinite switch, which is also able to be switched between latching and momentary.
And you can also switch it from infinite mode to freeze mode. So in infinite, it'll keep recording into the buffer and it'll keep playing back your sound as you put more signal into it. And in freeze mode, it will ignore everything that's coming in, so you can kind of stretch out a pad and play over it. And that sort of thing works really well with some of the new sonic enhancement features, like the improved ensemble feature on Cloud or the new pitch shifter on Shimmer. All those sound really, really great with pads. We're going to show off a lot of that stuff in dual mode, where you can use the swell feature that's built into Hall to swell in some stuff and make a big long pad and play over it.
So Dean developed the MX voice reverbs that are in BigSky MX, and I know there's a lot of cool new stuff that you were able to come up with. What do you tell us a little bit about what's involved there?
Yeah, so this is a brand new reverb algorithm. It's, like I was saying before, it's not based on the original BigSky reverbs in any way. This is cool because for digital reverbs, when you can afford really high complexity, you can get some really smooth and really realistic sounds. But tuning that really complex algorithm in a way that you can get rid of undesirable ringing and artifacts really presents a big problem. So we've designed these algorithms which are made by hand, but they're designed in such a way that we can then leverage some state-of-the-art machine learning techniques to tune out the undesirable ringing and the artifacts to leave you with something that sounds really good and really smooth.
Yeah, so the new MX voices are really just sound natural and really put you in the space that you're supposed to be in.
So this is a cool example of a dual reverb patch where we're using magneto, which is kind of a little bit, it gets into like delay territory, into a spring, so you can kind of get that cool like slapbacky boogie woogie guitar sound all in one pedal. Another really cool thing that you can do with the dual reverbs is you can have use it in split mode, where you have one on the left channel and one on the right channel. So in this case, I'm going mono in to stereo out, and I have one spring of the new MX spring reverb on the left channel and one spring of the new MX spring reverb on the right channel. So it's a really nice sound. I like that a lot.
Yeah, it's to be able to have a different reverb in each channel is the depth is surprising, and of course you don't need two of the same kinds of reverbs. In this example, it's a spring on each side, but it could be a spring in a plate or a spring in a hall or a cloud in a room.
So another cool use case for the dual reverb is when you want to put two reverbs in series. So in this patch, I'm using a Hall reverb with the swell feature, so it'll swell your wet signal, and that's going into a cloud reverb, which has some ensemble on it, so you can kind of get these string swell sounds. This is a similar setting where you're swelling your wet signal from swell setting on Hall, and this time it's using the chorale algorithm with the new choir parameter, so you kind of get similar harmonic enhancement to the ensemble, but it's going into a choir thing, so it sounds cool. Here's another example of a parallel reverb patch where we have a lot of pitch and harmonic features going on. This is a shimmer, and you can use the cloud with the ensemble again in order to get kind of like big crazy chords out of just simple chords.
What's cool about the parallel configuration, you have two stereo reverbs, both existing on top of each other in essence. And because so many of these reverbs, pretty much all of them, can really get long decays by themselves, you don't need to put them in series necessarily to get to get a long tail. You can set a long tail with one reverb, and then when you stack the other in parallel on it, you kind of instantly get the complexity of both of those reverbs working against each other.